Dominic Haddy here with Stare Down TV. I'm here with Tommy Taylor. Tommy will be facing Will Davies at Cage Warriors 104 on the amateur undercard this Saturday in Cardiff. Tommy, mate, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going good, thank you, mate.
Good, good. So, Tommy, just correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, I know Tapology and Sherlock aren't always the most accurate, but I had a look on your Instagram. It does seem to be the case. You've had a couple of years away from the sport, or a couple of years away from fighting. Is that right?
Yeah, it's been 2 years actually. 2 years yesterday. I've been out of the sport for. I've had multiple of injuries, so I've had 3 injuries over the past 2 years. First of all, buggered the money up straight after the Scott Clark fight, which forced me out for about a year. I had to have knee surgery, and then I broke my knuckle as soon as I come back, and then after that I broke my rib. So
Jesus, that's non-stop.
so yeah,
It's been one of them ones. So you're coming back now. So how long have you been sort of back fully training, getting into the swing of things fully?
I've been back fully training probably for about 6 months now, but throughout all the injuries and everything, I've been on and off anyway. So I haven't been inconsistent for 2 years. The training's still been there and everything, but
yeah, nice, mate. And so how did this opportunity come about with Cage Warriors? Did they approach you? Did you approach them? So how sort of just give me the run through of how this came about?
It just come from my coach really. Just my coach messaged me, Stuart Davis. He just I was with him at the time, and he said to me, he says, "Look, you've been offered a fight on Cage Warriors." He said, "Do you fancy it?" I was like, "Obviously," because I was meant to be fighting a few weeks before that on Golden Ticket. I was meant to be fighting for their middleweight title, but that's when I broke my rib at the time. So there was a bit of whether I could make it or not in the time, but. Well, to be fair, my rib healed up really well, so I just took the opportunity and just got straight back into it, really.
Nice, mate. So how long ago was that you found out you were going to be fighting on April 27th?
Probably a beginning of March, I think it was.
Okay, so you've had the time to train. So has it been a full camp for you?
Yeah, full training camp and everything. So yeah, it's
just normal, mate. It's nice to hear that. So, what was it like having your first full training camp, I suppose, really in the last couple since 2017? Obviously, you've had little hiccups and stuff. What was the mindset like, just to get back into the flow of do the training camp, fight at the end kind of thing?
Yeah, it was a bit of a throwback really, because I haven't been through it in so long, but yeah, it was nice to finally get back to it and actually complete a full training camp and then get going back into the swing of things. Really, it's nice to get back to everything, because there was a lot of times where I was scheduled to fight, got injured, so it's nice to finally have a full fight camp, and it seems to be I'm back to full fitness now, better than ever. So
that's good to hear, mate. It really is. So what does this week look like for you now, in terms of sort of making the travels to Cardiff, weight, everything like that? Like how far are you away from making weight?
So weight's pretty much on point. I'm getting there now, so just water loading this week just to cut the last few kilo off. I'm working actually with Yanis Fleming at Mr. Sport official. I've been working with him ever since I come back from my nutrition, really, just to help out with my whole nutrition as a point, because it used to be a big problem of mine. I used to balloon up after fights and everything and all that. So he's having my weight on point. We've been bringing it down gradually ever since Christmas, and yeah, it's coming down lovely now. So yeah, just the last few bits training today and tomorrow and then Wednesday, and then that's it really. Just chill out, travelling up to Cardiff on the Saturday morning, leaving nice and early just to get weighed in, and then that's it. It's go time.
Nice, mate. And so going back to the nutrition side, you say you'd balloon up and stuff. Was that just through bad habits? Was it just in between fights you just enjoy it? You'd indulge too much? Like, what are your go-to kind of foods, or what was the situation?
The thing was, I used to restrict myself so much during fight camp that as soon as it was over, it was just gorging, and then I just didn't stop really. I didn't really have much discipline. But ever since being on board with Yanis, it's all changed really. It's just it's not so restrictive during fight camps and everything, and I feel so much better during training as well, because these weeks during fight week, trying to get them last few training sessions in would be an absolute killer, and it'd be so hard to get through them. But now I feel fine. I feel like I can go into the fight now.
Good, mate. So when you say it's not been as restrictive, what's kind of been the major difference? Just suppose little implements of food into sort of throughout the week.
We've had it so like before it would literally just be protein potatoes, veg, protein potatoes, veg, like a protein rice, veg, just your typical normal diet that you usually see with most people. But now there's been a little bit like little treats in there and everything like that, just to keep me ticking over really. So now like I don't really get many cravings for any of it because you're still having it. But obviously on
Yeah.
fight week you have to knuckle down then. But 1 week that does it. So just changing the whole perspective of my eating really, my eating habits and everything. Just it's nice to finally just have it coming down nicely and not going back to the binging ways of after a fight and everything. So, but yeah, because I'm looking to be quite active this year because obviously I've been out for 2 years, so it's been a bit hard really. Just I want to get that ring rest off, get this win on Cage Rose, and then just fly through the rest of the year and have a good year basically, be a nice active year.
That's sort of my follow-on question. After the 2 years, when you say an active year, do you have sort of a number in mind, or is it just you look go for this fight, see what comes up next? You talk about
Yeah,
fighting for the golden ticket title. Is that still on there?
yeah. Uh, I'm hoping to fight in June time, and then I'm a bit busy, but I'm looking to have 3 or 4 fights this year, maybe more. Like that's the number one thing as well, because I'm going to stay along across this weight as well. But I'm going to make sure I don't stay too far away from it. So if there is any last minute fights to pick up, and I'm just going to stay fight ready this year basically, and just smash out. If there's a fight in 2 weeks, so be it, I take it, and then just go on from there. Really, I just want to get as much amateur experience I can before I start going to the pro ranks.
Nice, man. And is there a sort of a plan from yourselves and from your coach of when you like a projection of when you want to go pro? Is it just look you decide when you're ready kind of thing?
I think it is a very much decide whether I'm ready or when I'm ready, but I think we're planning on next year. So
Nice, man. That's good to hear. So you're fighting Will Davies on Saturday. Uh, did you know him before when he got approached? Did you start doing research? Kind of like what do you know about Will?
I looked at his tapology, just had a look at his recent fights and everything like that, just to get a quick glance. My coach had a look at all of his fights. I've had a look at a few just to get an idea of what's coming up really. But really, with my fights, I don't really tend to worry on who I'm facing. I worry about what I can do, and I know if my skills are there and I've had a solid fight camp, I can beat anyone.
Nice, mate. Nice. So you've had no sort of interactions, anything like that with him? No cross
No,
paths
I
in the
didn't know
past?
who it was really. Like I knew he'd fought on Cage Warriors before on the undercards, but that was it really. It was just nothing else.
No, that's good to hear, mate. Good to hear. So, I was having a little look through your kind of past fights and everything like that, and yourself. For yourself, what would you say is your strongest sort of armor in terms of the whole MMA game?
Well, if you look at my record, it's probably either finishing fights or submissions because
Yeah,
all of my wins have come from finishes. I don't really like to go to judges really because I know how dodgy judges can be and everything
yeah.
like
Who
that. And
does? No one does, right?
yeah, as I say, so I like to make it exciting really. So I'd rather just end the fight, finish it, than get out there early enough really. But yeah,
Nice.
probably my jiu-jitsu game is probably my strongest point, which a lot of people would probably sin. Probably, my opponents probably sin as well. Because if you look at my record, all three of my finishes have been from submission,
Yeah.
and like got multiple gold medals as well. So I'm looking forward to it really. I know he's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu as well. So it'd be good if he whatever his game plan is. I reckon it's gonna be a great fight anyway. From the looks of his fights and the way I fight, I reckon it'd be a good scrap.
No, it does sound like looking at both your records. It seems like you're both game. Look, you're both willing to lose to go for the win, if that makes sense. You are willing to put it out on the sword. So that's I can definitely see an interesting fight here. Sort of for yourself, looking at the main card, are you going to stick around and watch the pro fights?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. Looking
Eh,
forward to the event. Really, it's
Yeah.
stacked card. That's
Is
what it's.
anyone's really stick out to you?
I'm looking forward to the Jack Shaw fight. Obviously, like
Yeah.
Jack Shaw, massive now. Yeah, he's never in a boring fight, is he?
No.
And it's quite interesting as well because obviously Phil Wells is fighting on the card again, and like I've been at different fight shows with Phil. I've trained on the same. I've fought on the same shows as him as well. So yeah, I'll definitely look out for his fights as well. He's always an entertaining fighter as well. So
That's it, mate. It's a rematch. I've spoken to Phil and his opponent Jamie. I literally just spoke to Jamie actually. Phil had a bad injury through a first kick had a bad groin injury, so he had to take a little bit of time out, so it wasn't the best. But they're both game for it. It's a good, it's an interesting fight. Someone like your age, I'm not sure if you were even big into MMA sort of 10 years ago, but when sort of Tom Kong Watson was running the UK scene with Barma, seeing him come back, do you have sort of any memories of Tom?
Yeah, I remember. I remember all the other. Just as his fight with Alex Reed.
Yeah.
That was when I was starting to get into the MMA game and everything like that. So just as he started fizzling out was when I sort of come into the game. So it is going to be good to see him back, and he's got a hard fight ahead of him as well. Because
yeah, Aaron's a beast.
I know
Aaron is looking forward to it.
Yeah, but I know they're both going to be games. So the whole card looks stacked, and to be honest, it's very rare there's a boring Cage Warriors fight. So
that's it, mate. You know, I really do think people are sleeping on this card a little bit, but then again, I say that, but then there's a lot of hype around it. So I think it's just because there's no when in Cardiff, sometimes it's quite hard for people to get there. Obviously, the London ones, a lot of people can get there. It's a lot more central, but I have no doubt this is going to be a huge night. For yourself, then, are you going to you're travelling up on the Saturday? Are you going to stay there overnight? Are you going to come back home? What's your plan? You go out?
Yeah,
you out after?
Night. So yeah, I'll watch the whole card and everything. So there's no rush to get back or anything. So yeah, just enjoy the night really once it's all over.
Nice, mate. Nice. It's always, obviously you've had like little treats throughout the week. What's going to be the go-to food after the fight?
I don't know. I can't actually decide. I've been thinking about it all week, but can't actually decide yet. I usually decide on the day. It's usually a bit of an impulsive thing. I'd be like, right, I'm having that.
Yeah, well, mate, best way to go. So obviously Sunday's going to be a fun one for you, mate. It's going to be your Easter Sunday next week. You have to avoid it all. You have to avoid all this weekend. How has it been? You know, this is sort of our first weekend where it's been nice weather of the year. Has that been a bit of a hindrance for you? You know, everyone's now wanting to go outside.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a pain. Like a few invites, like to the pub gardens and everything, but it's always been a no. So I'm used to it though. Like
yeah.
I've had to like say no to social events and all that. It's just part of the game, really. But
man,
it makes up for it when you get in there. So.
Mate, I mean, those sacrifices, they're the things that sort of get you where you need to go, mate. So look, I'm not going to take much more of your time. I really do appreciate the time. What's the plan for the rest of the day then for yourself?
Nothing much really, just chilling out. Got training about 5:30. Got a good solid session in today, and then yeah, we've toned down training now, so only just light work basically, just getting a sweat on and that's it really, just chilling out, and then that's it really. Just from there, tomorrow we're training again, just do a bit of striking work. Got jiu-jitsu tonight, and then Wednesday we'll probably just cool down, just go for a light jog and everything, and then that'll be it really.
Nice, mate. Nice. Well, look, I hope you enjoy this week. I imagine it's quite a boring week for you in the lead up to the fight, but it'd be good for yourself to get back in there after 2 years. So, Tommy, mate, best of luck to you, and we'll have a chat after the fight.
Yeah, definitely.
Quality, man. Have a good one.
And you, mate.
See ya. Bye.